This video about functions focuses on domain and range, and there'll be a little bit about sets of couples as well at the end. So here's an example that we're going to use to explain domain and range. Here I've clearly got a function, f of x equals 3x minus 1. I'm also given a domain, and I'm asked to find the range. A domain is simply a list of inputs, and the fact that it ends in the word in, as you can see, might help you to remember this. We're being asked to find the range. The range is just the list of outputs. So really this question is three questions. It's asking me to use the function and put in each of these inputs separately in order to work out their outputs. So how should I write my workings out? Well, my function is called f of x. If I want to put in an input of 1, then I'm finding f of 1. That just means that I replace all x's with that input. The output will be the result, and you can do this manually or you can use your calculator to work it out. In this case, the answer is 2. I need to repeat this process for the other values in the domain, the other inputs, in order to get the other outputs. Pause the video yourself here now and try and do that, and then play and check if you were correct. So first of all, f of 2 is 3 times 2 minus 1, which gives a result of 5, and f of 3 is 3 times 3 minus 1, which gives a result of 8. So these three values here are my outputs. I want to write my domain in the same way that I want to write my range in the same way that I wrote my domain. This time the range equals 2, 5 and 8. Because a range is a set of numbers, I use my curly brackets on either end of the set. Sometimes we might be given our information in the form of a mapping diagram instead. In a mapping diagram, the first set represents the inputs or the domain, and the second set represents the range. In this question, I want to find the range, and I also want to find the set of couples. You'll notice in this case that my function looks a little bit different to in previous questions. Don't let this notation put you off. f dot dot x arrow just means the same as f of x in brackets equals to. It's the exact same thing. You might see both of these in questions, so it's important to be familiar with it. So, like before, to find the range, I'm going to take my inputs and put them into my function. And even if the question is worded this way, it's fine for you to use this type of notation here. At this stage, pause the video and put these inputs into the function yourself and see what results you get for A, B and C. So first of all, I have f of 1, which comes out as 4. So A, this position in the range, is just the number 4. f of 2 is next, and in this case that comes out as 6. And finally f of 3 is 2 times 3 plus 2, which is 8. So the A, B and C in my set are actually the numbers 4, 6 and 8, and so my range is 4, 6, 8. So that's the range found, but I also had to find the set of couples. That's very easy to do. I simply pair up each input with its output and write them in brackets. Now, I didn't know what A, B and C were originally, but now another 4, 6 and 8. Since I want to write the set of couples, I'm going to be using my set brackets at the start and finish. And in between the set brackets, I'll simply write in each couple separated by a comma.